I'm Gabby.
And Cameron.
Good evening. My name is Julia Green, and I'm your host for today's show. This week, our daily hot topics are centered around education. We're going to take a look at discrimination, diversity, and stereotypes, and how they affect you and your students. Let's take a look.
So what exactly is diversity? Diversity can mean a lot of things: culture, religion, national origin, race, gender, and socioeconomic status, where GradTalk has the answers. Diversity, the state of being diverse, difference, unlikeliness, variety, and multiformity.
It's times like this that I wonder what I'm doing here. Why do I have to be the elephant in the room just because my skin is a few shades darker than yours? Why is it that the place I go to find myself is the place where I feel most hated?
To really capture the story, we took to the St. Louis University College campus to really understand what students saw, what they thought, and how they felt.
I go to a predominantly white school, so it is hard being a Black African American going to a all-white school. I mean, you have teachers that don't like Black people, I guess, who don't feel the need to help us sometimes. So I feel like we have to work as Black African American people. We have to work harder just to get that extra boost and that extra help.
Discrimination, an act or instance of discriminating, or to make distinction. This can come in forms of discernment based on favor of a group, class, or category rather than individual merit.
Different friends who identified as being Black, friends who identified as being white, friends who identified as being straight, gay, lesbian, friends who were international students. And it really comes down to people not having an inclusive understanding of somebody else and where they come from and their beliefs and their thoughts.
In terms of being like a basketball player, a lot of people think there's a lot of stereotypes to that. They think that usually, people think like, we're stupid or, we're just dumb jocks, and it's not the case.
Why me? Why are my other people not with me? But it's also about just finding out why and creating an atmosphere that's conducive for people like me to be there and to be able to learn and grow.
Personally, really like it. I kind of feel like I get to share, something that a lot of the kids don't know. So just being in that situation, I learn a lot from them, and they learn a lot from me.
Happy to attend school? There is a disparity between Blacks and Asians who strongly disagree with the happiness with schools. Being happy with school often affects academic success in schools.
I go to a school called Parkway North High School. I guess it's in West County. The word ghetto, right, is thrown around quite often, and it's associated with Black people. So we have vending machines at our school, and they have flaming hot Cheetos. And so one time someone was like, wow, they increased the amount of flaming hot Cheetos in the vending machine. Like, our school is so Black, right? Our school is so ghetto, So I take a few honors classes at my school, and in my honors classes it's pretty homogenous, right? There's not a lot of diversity, unfortunately. And so when I went to Metro with like all of these really smart kids, the classroom is really, really diverse, at least compared to my school, which is interesting, right? Because it's a St. Louis public school, and I didn't expect that.
I think that was the biggest thing that I noticed about Ladue as far as classes, but then also in the AP classes, there were a lot of kids in there, and it wasn't a lot of Black students in the classes. It's not necessarily because they're better than the students who live in the city, but it's just because their parents were able to afford a house in a area that had higher property tax, so those higher property taxes what supports the public school.
Diversity in the schools.
I could definitely see how that could affect someone in their studies.
It's uncomfortable, right? If you're in a room with people, everyone is a different race, right? You feel outsider, even if it's just it's visible, right? Your skin color is different. And I think that can definitely affect the way someone learns. But I could definitely see how a student could feel uncomfortable in a lack of diversity, for sure.
Well, that wraps up today's show. Thank you for tuning in to Grad Talk. Join us next week for another show. Same time, same place.